Hey guys, welcome back to Ken Cinema Sofa. If it's your first time here, I'm your brother Ken, a missionary of 15 years in Japan, 16 years in Asia as a whole. But this channel is all about exploring my other passion, awesome cinema. Godzilla Minus One. I don't know what the minus one is about, but yeah, look, man, as I just said in my intro, I've been in Japan 15 years. Japanese culture is in my veins. Started with karate in high school. Got on the Dragon Ball Z, wagon and just, or roller coaster, jet coaster as they call it here. Godzilla, I've seen the first one, of course. I've seen the god awful 1990s one with Matthew Broderick. At the time, I didn't know how bad that was. I revisited it recently through YouTube. They pay for that. And yeah, it's unrecognizable. Like my students here in Japan, when I've showed them the movie in bits and pieces, they were like, "What is this? That's not Godzilla. It's a nice monster movie, kaiju movie from America. Did you guys make that? Is that American monster?" I said, "No, that's Godzilla." And they're like, "Uso desho." I didn't get a chance to see Shin Godzilla. I really want to get all those Shin movies, Shin Ultraman, Shin Godzilla. Shin Kamen Rider, was never really a fan of that growing up. This is blowing up right now, so that's why I'm doing this first. And I've heard really good things about it, so I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I've been here in the country a long time. I've said this many times, so look forward to some commentary here and there on Japanese culture, where I can. If I make mistakes, fill me in on it in the comments. Without further ado, let's get to it. Godzilla Minus One. Let's do it. Looks like a Zero plane. Okay, I know this actor already.
陸馬海軍航空隊の整備分隊にいた立花です。覚えておられますか？立花さん。もちろんです。その時もお世話になりました。この島の穴だらけの滑走路によく粗悪品を下ろせました。相変わらず腕は確かなようだ。模擬空戦の成績がいくら良くても実戦を経験せずいきなり。
Kamikaze. Divine Wind. Kami is like God or divinity.
実はいくら確認してもあなたの言う故障箇所が見つからないんです。何が言いたいんですか？
That's crazy, man, at this time period that they were just expected to do that. When I see something like this, it reminds me of the Japanese hone and tatemae, which is like basically two faces, like masks. One that you show other people what's expected of you, and the other that you keep inside, that is how you really feel. Why obey in order to die honorably when the outcome is already clear? Yeah, exactly. Fishes with their insides turned out? Wow. I mean, I know what this movie is, but that's still like shocked the mess out of me because... Whoa! That was quick. What? Huh? Oh, so it's already known. It doesn't look big, though. Yeah, like imagine seeing that at the end of the war. Get you Yankees, man. I don't know about that. I don't know about that logic. See, I've seen the movies. They haven't. It's not a good idea, man. Was that his breath, or was he scared? I'm shocked that they showed him so early. I don't know. I have a feeling this is not the actual one. Oh, whoa. Okay, so he ain't interested in eating y'all. don't know. I have a feeling that there's going to be a time jump. Maybe I'm thinking too much from a Western movie making point of view, like, Jaws. But usually they would save the monster that reveal for later in the film, sometimes much later. Why do they translate that as hello? He said oi. Oi is like, hey! Right? Yeah.
太田お姉さん。どこに行ったんじゃ。違うのかい。
Man,
気な顔して帰ってき
that's
たの
terrible.
か。恥知らず。だって日本人が見てのせいでこのありさまだよ。
And no doubt you probably did have people like this.
しっかりしてれば。うちの子たちも死なずに済んだ。うちの親はどうなったか知りませんか。
So I wonder if this is Tokyo. Is this Tokyo? Tokyo was firebombed. Kyoto was spared mostly. That's why today you can still go to Kyoto and it looks almost like 200, 300 years ago. Koichi, my dear son. Baby. Who is translating this? Onisan, that's older brother. Maybe she meant that as in she wants him to be older brother to, look after her.
旦那さんはどうしたんですか。携帯に取られたんですか。私に夫がいるように言えますよ。空襲の時頼まれたの。死にかけたこの子のお母さんに。名前は。君の名前です。のりこ。
That could have been something during the time period. I hear that in older days, Japan was much more village minded, community minded. So she might be calling him Nissan, older brother, just because they are Japanese and in the same neighborhood. It ain't like that now in Tokyo. All right, there we go. Finally, they translated it right. What a difficult situation, man.
あの子、お寿司はちゃんと出てんのかい。あれは母親じゃなくてです。どういうこと？あんたたちが食べんじゃない
That rice?
大人は何食べたって生きていけんだからさ。
Yeah, it is difficult to explain the importance of rice in this country. Rice is the staple. I know people, you feel you know that. If you're not in Japan, you're like, yeah, Ken, I know that. Man, you don't know. They have like 4 or 5 different names for rice for every stage of the rice growth. We don't have that in America. In America, where I'm from, it's rice. To help build communities in this country. Rice was the gateway from hunter-gatherer to making civilizations and cities and towns and communities in this place. People's names, even today, their surnames are connected to rice fields. And, you were known by what rice plantation or what rice tambo, which is rice field, you grew up by or what you worked. And ancient samurai were paid in bags of rice. I have a rice cooker filled with it almost every day myself. I remember that porridge. I had pneumonia and I had to eat that rice porridge for a whole week. They wouldn't let me eat anything solid. A job, wow. Money's not bad either. They even paid in advance. 3,000 yen back then, that's not bad.
米軍も帝国海軍も手当たり次第機雷を撒いたでしょう。それを掃除する仕事です。
Oh, that's dangerous, man. So it seems like he was supposed to be a kamikaze, but he can't escape that even after the war.
3人とも飢え死にです。先越してこのままじゃ死んだらダメです。自主冷戦の特攻とは違うんです。
It kind of is,
それに
but I see his point.
敵式嫌いにも反応しない特別扱いの船があるそうですから。これが特別扱い。あんたが今度来る鉄砲撃ちってのは敷島です。をつけて
Cutting claws.
機雷のワイヤーを切断する。そうすると機雷が浮き上がってくるだろう。そいつをこれでダダダダダってな。いいだろう。
Idaro. Oh, nice. Well, he's a soldier, so.
ああ、もうちょっと長引いたらな。それ本気で言ってんのか。
Be careful how you talk around the next soldier. Oh my God. Yeah, about to say. If I saw something like that, I wouldn't be able to go back and just to normal life looking for a job. Okay, that's what I was wondering. So, okay, I think I'm starting to get an inkling of what might happen. Why Godzilla looked so small before. I could be wrong, but this makes sense now that I see the time going by. How nice. That's nice, man. I'm glad to see that. Oh, sake.
のりこさんは人妻ですよ、人妻。やめてくださいよ。私、奥さんじゃないんですね。
That's right. I was wondering about that.
行くところがないからって、まあ、置いてるだけで。だろ？俺はお前の父ちゃん。
No, 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 no. Just accept it, man. Don't say that.
お前さ、親子ともども縁あってこうして引き取ったんだから。
Amen.
幸せにして。黙れ。このままじゃこうさん、お嫁さんももらえなくないし。
That's such a weird situation. So it looks like the atomic energy from that bomb has mutated Godzilla even more.
これを見るまで、私も半信半疑だったんですよ。ゴジラ、戦争中にいた脅すまで、奴が来た日も深海魚が浮いていたんです。あんた元特攻隊員なのか。こういうサジは自分のところで。
This ain't small, man.
これがサジかよ。
Yeah, I was just saying that.
この国は変わんねえな。変わるものだ。
That's really poignant what he said just there, because this is a modern movie made by people, 21st century millennials, yeah, the country even today has its issues. Japan has its issues, right? Declining birth rate, things that are never addressed up front, right? Things that are kind of swept under the table, under the rug, instead of being dealt with firmly, assertively. It really comes back down to, I know I keep saying it, but the hone and the tatemae and wa, the idea of wa, which is unity, right? Not disrupting the unity around you. So saying things, talking about religion, politics, anything that would upset the order and the established harmonious atmosphere in an area, in a group of people, in a society, in a company, you just don't do it. It's frowned upon. That means that this is a really peaceful country. On the surface, there's very low crime. I could leave my door unlocked and nobody's gonna come in. There was a cat burglar a couple years ago in this neighborhood, but he was caught. Besides him, it's very, very peaceful here, one of the most peaceful countries in the world. But that also means that because people don't want to upset that order and harmony, that it takes a very, very long time, many times, to address a problem. What are those? whole lot of them now.
この量、大戸島の時とは比べ
Yeah.
物にならない。
I'm afraid for them. I mean, this sounds like a sound plan because now they have all these mines in the water. I'm just afraid he's going to get really angry. And he hasn't shown that atomic breath yet, if they do it in this movie. Oh. What I love about the Godzilla films, one of the things I love, such a variety of designs. It's hard to choose which one I like the best. I think I do like the new Legendary Pictures ones, the new Americans ones that they're making. It's much better looking than the Japanese ones traditionally, but still respecting their original designs. Tell me in the comments, like, what's your favorite Godzilla design? Wow. He called him Kozo, kid, or like a brat. Whoa. It went straight through that. No, don't freeze up. That probably would have done it. Or would it have? I don't know. Oh. Oh my God. Oh, snap. Oh, no. Whoa. Oh. You know what? It looked like he was about to shoot out that atomic blast. Uh-oh. This is it. I can see it already. Man. I've been waiting to see that, but that is so messed up at the same time. It's times like this, man, I love doing this for y'all, whoever's watching. I really do. But it's times like that, scenes like that, that make me wish I was in the theater.
ここは横須賀の病院だ。
Yokosuka, not far from Tokyo. Yokosuka is a military base. If you've ever played the game Shenmue, which I'm a big fan of, that's Yokosuka. And those brothers down there, not too far off from Shenmue. It's easy to get in a fight down there. Those sailors, man, they don't have much to do. They're itching for a fight.
なのに私はあなたの人生にこれっぽっちも関わらないの。あなたが何かを背負っているなら少しは私にも分けてほしいんです。
I don't know, you all might as well get married. I mean, it sounds like a marriage.
ここから逃げた人間です。
Many of the things that the world, we look at Japan and admire about this country and culture, this ability to work together as a unit, constantly striving for perfection in whatever it is that you're tasked to do. But the sacrifice of that is that individuality is second place. So many people struggle with being themselves, valuing themselves, right, in this country. You have this in every country in some degree around the world, but it's kind of like an epidemic in this country. So what I'm saying is what I've heard. You know, when I first came to this country, I didn't know about any of these things. I just had sakura cherry blossom tinged sunglasses on when I came here. You know, everything was perfect. And then the longer you stay in any place, you start to notice things. What do you do? In this country, you know, there's been a culture ever since the samurai days of taking your life to atone for dishonor, right? To atone for failures, to bring honor back to your family. Samurai did it. Seppuku, harakiri, slicing of one's belly. You had samurai lords and daimyos. When they died, they had retainers, samurai that were bound by oath to them, that were supposed to take their lives as well to go with their lord, right? Even though the samurai era ended in the late 1800s, the Meiji era, Meiji period. You did have people continuing to do these things. Ryonosuke Akutagawa, this famous poet who wrote Rashomon, which the famous movie was made based off of his story. Yeah, he took his own life. So the bottom line is dealing with guilt is a big deal in this country, especially when there's this heavy weight of this one person giving their self and giving up their individuality for the cause of the group. These pictures belong to the mechanics.
みんな
They all died.
その夜巨大な恐竜のような怪物が現れたのです
Okay, well, I noticed she was probably like, up until this point, I really, huh? I know that just came out of left field. Like, what? Okay, forget about the kamikaze thing. Tell me about this dinosaur. What? Yeah, that's something I'm feeling in this movie. It's like, since he got out of his deal or his duty to be a kamikaze, it seems like death is following him.
のりこさんやあきこはその屍が見てる夢なんじゃないですかね
I like that. Can't you feel it? You can feel her, right? Her touch. You see the Buddhist shrine there to the parents. I pause it. They got that old style rice cooker. That is so cool. I've actually seen some samurai homes, ancient samurai homes that have been preserved.
終わりにしてもいいですかもう一度生きてみたいんです
That's great to hear. Oh, so he's not just attacking anything. So Godzilla, his motivation and alignment is different from film to film. Sometimes he is the villain. Sometimes he's a hero protecting Tokyo, protecting Japan from other monsters. Other times he's just a force of nature. He doesn't really pick a side. I wonder if we'll see Godzuki, the baby Godzilla, actually, on the second thought.
東京湾防衛戦第4項爆破して未確認巨大生物の侵入を阻止します
So I wonder what is drawing him to Tokyo. Ooh. No.
ダメですあれは聞いてません
Oh, wow. Whoa! Oh, man. He is huge now.
ゴジラ
It's so weird. I mean, I like the design. It's like they've somehow mixed computer graphics with the puppetry look of the original films. She must be in shock or something. Uh-oh. Man. Why not jump with him?
どれ
It's a monster born of the atomic age. Black rain. That's right, yeah. They did say that the atomic bomb turned the rain black. I know that, those that made Godzilla, there's a lot of symbolism in the story of kind of this monster unleashed on the world with the harnessing of atomic energy in this terrible way. No, she can't be dead, man.
お母ちゃんは
お母ちゃんね、ちょっと遠くまでお仕事に行ったんや。
実は
That is actually a
秘密
strategy.
裏にゴジラを駆除する作戦が進行中です。
What could this be?
民間人主導の
Private
悪と
citizens?
心も
Really?
ないものです。
That's what I expect from the Japanese, poised under extraordinarily bizarre circumstances.
皆さんもご存知のように、今東京は謎の巨大生物の襲撃を受け、
Yeah.
未曾有の危機に瀕しています。
大戸島の伝承に即し、仮にゴジラと呼称しますが、ゴジラは通常の火器の攻撃に対しほとんどダメージを受けません。目
Right.
の前で見ましたが、従順高尾の主砲クラスの直撃を食らってもすぐに再生してしまうんです。
Takao. I wonder if that's supposed to be Mount Takao. That's like 10 minutes train ride from where I live.
ゴジラを模した木片には重りをつけてギリギリ浮いている状態に調整してあります。この状態でチューブからフロンガスを送り込み、木片を泡で包むとどうなるでしょう。
どうなるでしょうって。んなもん泡が出ようが浮いたままだろう。
Science.
フロンガスな
But I mean, he seems to spend most of his time underwater anyway. He seems to spend his time, right? Most of his time underwater anyway. So I'm wondering, what is that going to do?
ゴジラを絶対に殺せるんですか？
Godzilla.
ゴジラの生態は未知のことが多すぎて予測で対策を立てるしかない。
Yeah, exactly. Be real about it. Be real about it, man.
海底についたゴジラを今度はこれで一気に海面まで引き上げます。
確かに確実に倒せる保証はありませんですが、今はやれることをやるしか
The
ないんです。
Godzilla of the legendary movies seems to have high intelligence. He's bestial, but has high intelligence, like human-like intelligence. So I'm wondering, I don't know what this Godzilla is like.
これは命令ではありません。個々の事情がある方は帰ってもらって構わない。それを止める権利は我々にはない。
I like it because this is the idea of the Japanese ishokenmei, which means like with all your might for one's life, for dear life, but it's in a way that is not putting a weight on you as if it's your fault if you don't do it. This is a more modern take. So I see like the new Japan and kind of warring with the old one. Whereas if you didn't before, you would be guilt-ridden, right? You wouldn't be able to get rid of that in your life. People tend to react better when they realize it's their own free will, right?
要するにお前の作戦は穴だらけってことだな。
そんなこと言うな。代案出してくださいよ、代案。
He's right.
戦闘機のつて、どこかにありませんか？
Oh. Man, I hope, no, come on. I hope this is not one of those stories where he was supposed to die and all this stuff has happened. He's thinking because he didn't die, it was his destiny too. And then now he's going to carry it out in the end.
なんでこんなことになる前にノリちゃん嫁さんにしてやんなかったんだ。じゃあなんでだよ。
Yeah, I want to know too.
戦争が終わってないんです。
Ooh.
大戦末期に開発されていた
Local fighter
新
Shindig.
伝です。
I like the sound of that.
B を落とす一撃離脱に特化した設計で、
Mm.
計画最大速度は400ノット以上、数々の新機軸を盛り込んだ革新的な機体です。問題はそこなんです。優秀な整備士、いや、機体を補修できるほどの人材が必要です。一人いる。
Is that guy still around? What? That's the dude.
立花さん、
Is he tied up?
立花さんですね。許してください。
勝手にやれる。
You mean we're on our own? Godzilla will destroy the country.
爆弾を満載した戦闘機であいつの口の中に突っ込むんですよ。そうすれば確実に殺せる。
特攻か。
あなたの戦争は
これが幻の極地戦闘機神殿ですか。命がけのしんどい作戦だということはよくわかってる。
And yes, faces up.
いい顔してるじゃねえか。
So I wonder how they're going to lure him, or are they just going to wait for him to come through, or?
皆さんは可能な限り今夜は自宅に戻って家族と過ごしてください。思えばこの国は命を粗末にしすぎてきました。脆弱な装甲の戦車を占める戦場。
This is very mature
戦闘機には
and a very balanced look and take on the war in Japanese society, you know?
特攻だ、
Right.
国際だと。民間主導の本作戦では一人の犠牲者も出さないことを誇りとしたい。
Yosh, let's go. Yosh.
お願いです。
You don't want enough.
俺も乗せてくださ
Take
い。
me with you. Wow.
俺は一緒に行きたいです。
この国はお前たちに任せたぞ。
じゃあね、あきちゃん。
I wonder if Akiko is that like fall child, because Aki is the Japanese word for autumn.
くれるのか。
Is it for me?
ありがとう。そしてそんな顔するんだ。
Why do you look so sad? Oh. It's amazing to me, these child actors that can do this. I mean, you know, I know there's somebody else scream saying like, go. I don't know, man. I keep expecting the mom to just pop up out of nowhere. I just feel, if that was it, that was just, and I don't know if they've ever shown Godzilla directly. I mean, the direct effect of his rampage, him causing someone to be murdered, that was central to the story. But I feel like this is taking it back home to the old school, like, you know, before movies start coming out and making people want to be friends with Godzilla. Like, this is the reality of what would happen if Mile High Lizard started walking through Tokyo.
期待ようです。俺は。あの
Funny.
日死んだ奴らもそう思ってたよ。みんな生きて帰ってきたかった。願い叶わず。虫けらみたいに殺されたんだ。
That's true, man.
こちらは差し違えてでも必ず仕留めます。
ようやく覚悟ができたようだな。これは爆弾の安全装置だ。奴に突っ込む直前に引き抜くんだ。いいな。そして、
He said one last thing. Now, I bet you he put something in there allowing him to escape before flying in. I bet you there's a parachute, because they silenced that part out. Or maybe I'm just being too, I don't want him to die. So are they like using his own sound, his own cry to call him? I'm so glad this is happening in daytime. I was about to say, please, not another night shot to hide CG.
島君は諦めたようです。こんなところに。
You know, it just makes me wonder, like, what does he eat? What is his purpose? Once again, the Legendary Pictures one, I know, like, he would come out to battle if he felt his domain was challenged by other beasts. But in this, I don't know his level of intelligence. I don't know if he has a drive. He probably feeds on radiation.
無茶すんじゃねえぞ。アキコ一人ぼっちにしたら許さねえからね。
Yeah, don't argue. I haven't said anything about it so far, but I like this soundtrack. I like this. It's good.
敷島さんですか？電報です。
Wow. I'm just imagining all the hundreds of train rides I've taken, local trains, through valleys, and it's just, Whoa! Just imagining him walking through like that. Ooh. Getting tense, y'all. Sorry. Gotta break out the sour gummies. Was that like his own heat ray, like burning him? So is this like the updated? Okay, now that I get it. That's the Godzilla theme, the classic theme. What an odd thing, right? Like, we're trying to kill him, and yet his music is playing, is making me root for him. Like, whoo. Oh, okay. So let's see if this is really going to work. So far, it's going according to plan. I don't see this working. I'm afraid I'm going to see some blue light coming up through the ocean. Oh, okay. Kozo. I saw it. I saw it. You ain't fooling me. Oh! Godzi.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? Oh, Godzi. That's very complex, and I feel that that goes back to the samurai spirit, right? Giving a warrior an honorable death, right? Even your enemy, giving them the opportunity to commit harakiri seppuku. That's the difference between those two is for another video, but I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. She was recuperating. I knew it. See? Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Is your war now finally over? See, I had a feeling. Like, I knew it. I knew it. When they don't show in films, many times, especially in this kind of film, there are some films that are just, their goal is to just rot the insides of your happiness out, right? But this is not that kind of film. And if they don't show, what is that? Uh-oh. Is she going to turn into another Godzilla? I don't know. Okay, so this is, I'm sensing this is going to be a series. Okay, guys. Godzilla Minus One. Woo! I enjoyed that. I don't want to spook anybody outside. You know, I am the crazy American living here. And everybody in the neighborhood knows me, you know. Look, that was good. That was good. You know, like, and as I was trying to say before, there are certain movies that they endeavor to kill your mood and your inner happiness, okay? And sometimes films, we need films like that, especially if they're telling true stories and trying to show you certain shades of human nature that you probably just wouldn't see, you know, in your everyday white picket fence suburban life. But otherwise, even when you have a thriller or a drama or action thriller, drama or horror, whatever, there are certain modes of storytelling, right? You have to give the audience, in some way, some things that they want, right? Just to carry them through to the end of the film, right? And to give them deposit a sense of satisfaction in them for the film, right? For a story. And when they don't show exactly what happens, 9 times out of 10, when they don't show exactly what happens to a character, you can bet that either they're going to be back or there's something more to that character that's unresolved, right? I'm an artist. I'm not a screenwriter. My dad went to film school though, and I've watched a lot of movies, read a lot of stories, books, even read books on screenwriting. And these are some of the elements that you're taught in those classes and in those books, right? You can bring shocks and twists that characters didn't quite see, that audiences didn't quite see coming, but there has to be some level, some elements at times of familiarity, of story beats, So I just had a sense inside that she was just, no. Especially the way they built that up. He was just losing. It was just a landslide of loss for him, And I just couldn't see it ending that way. Being second. And so after the war, you had certain American or Western ethics and morality kind of invading the country, right? Or some people see it as invading. Some people, older generation, see it as invading. Some older generation and younger in Japan see it as needed change, okay? Then there are others that see it as not so much Western traditions coming in, but maybe this is just something that is a human truth, right? That there is the importance in the individual, you know? So yeah, I see in this movie there's a lot of that this director, whoever made it, I have to look it up, really showed that, the layers of that wrapped in the veneer of awesome cinema, you know. And I think that is great movie making when you can, depending on how much you know about a culture or a situation, you can enjoy a film on many different levels. Because if you don't live in Japan, and if maybe you studied about it in school, that's good enough to learn certain things. But then when you stay here long enough, there are things you notice and hear and see that you just would never have known. I mean, because Japanese was my minor in university. My major was illustration. My minor was Japanese. So there's a lot of things I learned about the history of the country, writing systems, speaking, that it can't really compare to all that I've learned and just felt. The kuki o yomu, which means reading the air, right? Things that you would never be able to get without actually living here, being able to read what's in the air in the society, you know, or even in a room. There's a lot that's not said here, or the term Iwanu ga hana, not saying is the flower, right? So that's one of the aspects of Japanese culture. A lot of things go unsaid, which is what you see in this movie with not sharing, how they love each other, even though they're sharing the same home. They've been there for each other after a war, and those years go by and not even sharing that I love you, that I want to marry you, that what even is this? We got a kid, you and me live together. We're struggling and surviving under intense circumstances that breeds affection. But, you know, once again, the Iwanu ga hana, kuki o yomu, you know, and I've heard different stories about why it is that way in this country. I was at a culture festival, Matsuri, at the Kominkan, which is like a culture center, community center in Japan. I think I was in, Ageo City, Saitama. And there was an old man there. I sat with him and we had a conversation, and he was a World War II veteran. And he made it clear to me that, you know, for every one of you Americans I shot down, I was happy. I was like, okay, where do we go from here? The look in his eye. But you know, I could see even then he was balancing that anger and aggression with the curiosity for getting to know me, right? And that's a very human thing. I understand it, and I'm getting to understand it. As an African American, you know, we deal with it too. If you've ever been, you know, a minority. And for many Caucasian people that come here to this country, they start to experience what it was like for African Americans in the past. You know, I've made friends with people of every shade here. And it's like an even playing field. But anyway, the point is the old man told me that the reason why this kind of culture of not saying what you really feel and just giving up your individuality for the sake of the country or the group is because the country is basically, it's almost the size of California, okay? And the interior is mountainous, okay? So people hug to the coast in their towns and cities. So when you live that close to somebody, right, or a group of people, and all these people around you, living right up on top of people, right, you tend to gradually over time watch what you say, because nothing will get done if everybody's, you know, punching each other, slaughtering each other, right? And Japan had its own period of that, right? The Warring States period, the Sengoku period, Sengoku Jidai, which saw, as written in history books, an unprecedented low regard for human life. I'm quoting that. Okay. So, from what he was telling me, it just organically grew to the place where people became ultra polite and never said what they really felt in order to keep the harmony of the city, the town, the village, the country. But anyway, back to the technical side of the movie. I really love the visuals. It's not the best CG, and I don't expect it to be because Japan, it just doesn't have the same economical strength as America right now to create, like the Legendary Pictures Godzilla, right? That's just amazing level of quality. But it is more than good enough. And even if you don't have the money to make something look as shiny as American movies, it can still look awesome and even more awesome than American films if it's made through a certain artistic lens. And it was very artistic the way this movie was shot. It was very striking the way that every time Godzilla did his atomic blast, breath, whatever, it looked like a mushroom cloud, right? And the devastation, the utter devastation it brought. And in that way, you could see Godzilla as a symbol of the atomic age and the atomic terror and chaos that lays waste to countries and the world if unchecked, right? And the atomic age birthed him as well. So yeah, there's so much. I could go on and on. It would take videos, a series of videos to talk about all that was in this movie. But I am looking forward to checking out the Shogun series. That's gonna be up soon, coming in July. Because to me, it's no Godzilla, but I've been wanting to watch something where at length I can kind of delve into Japanese culture, give my commentary, my experiences, maybe bring in some Japanese friends to watch it with me. They can, share their thoughts. And these are like young people. I could get an older guy. There's a Japanese Buddhist monk in this neighborhood who we've had many a tete-a-tete over religion in the cafe in this building. And I do glean a lot of information from him about the country. And he's the one that first told me about the guy Mishima who committed seppuku in the 1970s, right? So there's a lot to just, soak in and share with you guys in Japanese themed cinema and TV shows. I want to do so much more of that. That's coming up in the summer. I'm done with my elementary school job. I quit it because it was just too much. I love the kids, love many of the teachers, most of them. But I just want to give more and more of my time to missions work, to teaching art, doing my own paintings, right? And creating content for you all, So look, write down in the comments, tell me how you like this reaction. Was I wrong about some of the things I said? Let me know. If there's anything else that you know about Japanese culture, about Godzilla, what's your favorite Godzilla film, any Godzilla movie, factoids and trivia, put it down below. I would love you to share and read, all through it. I would love to read all through it. So anyway, thank you guys. If you like this reaction, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. I'm always growing, doing better. Write your reviews, your comments. Like I said, it really helps the algorithm for me to grow as a small YouTube channel. And I will see you next time. Looking forward to it in the next one. Bless you.